So I said,
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel.
oh,
Like and subscribe.
oh dear. All right, enough of
He
that.
laughed, that's enough. I swear it's enough when he laughs. Tamo, we've got you here for your laughter.
That was the quality.
The wisdom's mine, laughter's yours.
You can just be the audience, bro.
Huh?
Yeah,
You
I
laugh in the
can't
audience.
laugh.
That's the only guy that's laughing in the audience. Ah, ha, ha, ha. And it's just silence. That's it, literally.
What's you trying to cancel him? I told you.
No, we can't cancel me, bro. Anyway, let's get to the questions, right? Yeah, ready? What made you want to start Mayfair IT?
To hire Emil.
Really?
No.
Okay. So what's the real reason then? We're
No,
all
it's-
intrigued.
What?
Your
Aha
audience-
moment.
Your haha moment.
Aha, like
Oh,
the light bulb.
like epiphany.
Yeah? Well, less epiphany. More it was like, what could I do here? No, I mean, I'm always on the lookout for opportunities.
Okay.
So in 2016, when we got an opportunity to work with Deloitte, I took it, I just took it both hands, I just didn't let it go.
Okay.
And initially we didn't land the contract because we were waiting for the sign-offs and everything, which actually delayed it by a month.
Okay. So what does Deloitte do?
Well, it's a global consultancy company.
Okay.
Tax, audit, accountancy, risk advisory and consultancy.
Mm.
They're the 5 service lines they have. Our work there was more around risk regulatory transformation. So initially, excuse me, we were working on banking projects, so around PPI, so dealing with IT functions there. Around a year and a half later, another part of the business needed our help. So went in there, helped Deloitte start up some services that they were doing, again around regulatory. So there's a PRIPS regulation that came out in EU. That's the first service-based project that we did, and it was a different approach to Deloitte because they sell solutions to clients. So if you're a big bank or you're a tech company or a pharma company, they will go in, understand your problem and give you a bespoke solution. But this time around, we were like, hold on, what if there's one solution for this regulatory problem or for the tech problem, whatever they're having, and we go in, have it built up 80% at any given time. 20% is what the client requirement is or needs. If they need to whitelist it, if they need their own servers, they need their own team, as in terms of operationally running it. But the service itself was always ready.
Okay.
So with PRIPS, that was just the first one. We started off with 4 major clients, banking and insurance, who were doing package retail, investment. I always forget the other P and S. So yeah, we were doing that, but then from there went on to risk projects, there was a really interesting one. Deloitte did around third-party risk.
Okay.
And then yeah, it was just smaller banking engagements from there as well.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Why the name Mayfair? What made you think of the name Mayfair? You could have chosen anything else in the world but Mayfair. So why Mayfair?
I mean, I could have just given it my own family name or something like that.
Yeah.
But then, okay, it was more of a fascination with London. I hadn't been there much. I'd always lived in Birmingham or Manchester. But it was once when I went to London. This was in, I think, December 2015. Yeah, December/Jan 2015. And I was thinking, what sort of name could I come up with the company?
Okay.
And literally, I saw a van go by and it was Mayfair something else. And I was like, hold on, that could be, I could possibly use that name, but instead of whatever services that company was offering, we'd be Mayfair IT.
Okay.
Because we're technologists, we deliver tech solutions, regardless if it's risk, regulatory, transformation, change, you name it, we can deliver tech to you, to your clients.
Okay.
So that's where Mayfair IT came from. It was just a thought I had and I just went with it. More of a gut feeling that I should go with Mayfair IT.
Okay. Always trust your gut. I like that. So what advice would you give to an aspiring entrepreneur? Like top 5 tips, top 3 tips.
I'll give one tip: consistency.
Okay.
And I learned this from looking at politicians, especially when they're under the gun and under fire.
Okay.
You need, like, obviously I know behind the scenes a lot of what goes on as well because I've seen it. So it's not just a man on the screen and people think, oh, he's the worst person on earth, but it's not always the case. But often it's about that person himself or herself staying consistent. Because if they didn't stay consistent, they'd be elected as prime minister and be out the next week, because you get gunned down in a position like that. So I guess I've looked at examples like that and I thought, hold on, if you really want to do something, if you've got a business idea, okay, turn it into a business plan, run it past a few mentors or advisors, get their feedback. Once you've confirmed that, okay, this is a viable product, service, or solution that could run, validate it with market. So I guess they're the 5 tips, but what encompasses that is stay consistent throughout each step, because if you don't, you're going to come to the idea, it'll fall off, or you'll come to the business plan, it'll fall off, or you'll go to the advisor and the advisor will be like, I don't think it's going to work. But really, obviously you're going to an advisor for a reason, but validate it for yourself as well, just so you are 100% committed to what you're doing. So overall consistency defined by the 5 points that I've mentioned.
Okay, fair enough. Smart. All right. Would you say you've grown as a businessman in the past 5 years? If so, how much?
So we are still what you would call a micro business, and I'm proud to say that. Reason being because I grew up in Pakistan, then Birmingham, of course, but then I moved out for a long time, went to Manchester, London. But coming back to Birmingham after we landed the government contract this year, we've actually been able to help a lot of youth into employment. So these were unemployed people who hadn't really had the opportunities before, or they did and they might not have done something about it. But we have the chance where we can bring them into employment, local people from Birmingham. So this city gave me a lot. It helped me learn, it helped me grow, and some of the opportunities that I've fruitioned over the years now, it started off from my childhood, as in the way I went through tough problems and stuff. So for me, it's a case of giving them that opportunity now. And I mean, I'm young myself, so at this age, if I can achieve and do something that's impacting us regionally and then nationally at some level, because a lot of the people who we've hired and we've helped them get into positions are cross England. So really that's more of a national footprint that we're getting to. So that's the idea. Really, it's about growing it in the tech space, but then also growing it in the learning and educational development space in UK and overseas as well, with some of the projects that we have.
Okay, all right, nice. Let's see. Have you had any struggles with the business, and if so, would you say that this has helped you in the long run?
Yeah, I mean, no 2 days are the same, literally. And I don't think I've had 2 days the same in my career, regardless of where I've been. If I've been consulting with a larger firm or doing one of my own projects or businesses. In terms people, it's always difficult getting lots of solid people in to actually work, and once you get them working, it can be a challenge to help them understand the company's vision, because really that's your thinking, that's your strategy that you're trying to get others to understand, and it's not like one conversation and you hit a home run. Sometimes you'll be running around the bases, and it might take you 2-3 times to really workshop, strategize, getting people to understand your vision for them to actually grow the company. Because the way I want the type of thinking I want to instill into everyone, it's more around, guys, yes, it's an organization you're working for, but please understand, if the company grows, so will you. Because what do people look for in life? It's moving up, right? People don't like to stay in the same place. At least I hope they don't. Because then there's no growth. As in, if you want to start your own business, what are the ways? Okay, either go get money, go start your own business. You might succeed the first time, you might fail. Or go into an organization, understand the structures, how they work, what's going on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, with clients, operations. So there are so many different layers to an organization that a person needs to understand before they can go and do something for themselves. That's how I did it.
Okay.
I mean, I've always had a business head where literally from the age of 12, I used to rent out DVDs in school.
Oh,
That was a business I started then. I was 12. I remember when I made my first £20, then £50, then £100. And for them days, money went far. I could go to a shop for £1 and buy like 5-6 like crisp sweets and a drink. And and £100 was a big deal for me them days. And when I actually started to hit them targets, then it gave me a bit of business acumen. But then really, when I look at when I need to make a complex decision, I think, how do I simplify it? I think back to the past. What was like a problem that I had then? How did I solve it? Because often it's the simple decisions that you made previously that can actually help you make complex decisions.
Okay. Can we put it there? Oh, let's keep rolling.
Is this the encore now?
Yeah. Okay, so where do you see yourself and the business in the next 10 years?
I'll tell you something now. I was working in Canary Wharf, so the Deloitte contract had finished. I was still in London for a few weeks last year. I went to Canary Wharf for a meeting with an exec at one of the large banks there to discuss a project that they could potentially invest in. I came out of that meeting and I was just walking past to go grab a coffee for myself before my next one. I can't remember which organisation it was, but when I looked into their corporate offices, I just saw the company logo plastered behind the front desk, the reception desk. And I've got my own company logo, which is for the AAA group, which is the line logo that I have. And I just envisioned that in 10 years, so from last year, 2020, I envisioned that by 2030, I should have my company should be a global consultancy company where we've got an office. And it might be wishful thinking, but if I don't, it's a dream it, believe it, and achieve it. So I want that for myself and the team that we have around us and my partners, where we have corporate offices and we're at that scale where where I envisioned that a year ago. I can make it happen in the next 9 years.
Okay. All right. Good. Have you adapted well to having a leadership role? And with this experience, would you ever mentor someone on your team who wants a similar job in the future? Or do you believe that people should always put in their own work and graft with no handouts?
Okay, it's quite an interesting one, this. I don't feel if you get help from somebody, it's a handout. Even if somebody says, here's a project, this is everything behind it, a lot of the work has been done. Because really, then that's a different challenge for you to graft towards. That's for you to get the operations up and running. That's for you to make sure that you're delivering a quality service. So people start at different stages, where I could have started with a piece of paper, which is a business plan, and I turn that into something, and then I go make that run. Or somebody has done the hard work to start with. Yes, it's a bit of a stepping stone, but somebody has done the hard work, but still provided me a blueprint to go off. The thing that underlies both of them, and I strongly believe in this, it's the craft, like you asked about, that needs to be given regardless. Nobody can teach you how to graft. You have to give that your own thought, your own skills. That's where your own credibility gets built out of. Where I could give you a business idea tomorrow, you could go turn it into something in 3 months, and then you could go and make it a global success in the next 12 months after that. Or I could be like, hey, here's a full business plan. So that 3 months of work that you initially did, I give you that, but then it's up to you to go and make that happen. I mean, I can't envision a handout in that, in this scenario. Maybe in a different scenario, possibly. But in this one, I feel everybody needs to graft, because in terms of leadership, when I have colleagues or people, anybody coming to me to validate small little things, that makes me think, have you really thought about what you're actually doing? Because when you come to me, you should be coming to me with a final draft of something. I mean, questions are okay to ask rather than assuming. So I wouldn't want somebody to get to the end stage, have assumed the whole way through, and they all turn out wrong when you're trying to deliver at the end. It's instead, okay, confirm your assumptions over a meeting or two, or a workshop, which can go on longer. But then when you come to me with something, I don't just want an idea. I want you to give me the final draft version where I can say, yes, perfect, let's go with it, or no, let's make these minor changes. But that shows me that you've thought about the whole journey and the exercise or the task that you're doing in order for you to deliver. So again, it's another graft mode thing, I'd say.
Okay. Last question. What is the weirdest, funniest, most random thing that's happened to you in a workplace? Could be anything.
So I was consulting with the law firm once,
Okay.
and it was one of my first few days, and I knew the managing partner, the main partner of the law firm. He'd come in, so I was working in more of an IT role. So I went into one of the storage spaces, I think to just get a mouse or something like that.
Okay.
I ended up locking myself
In the place. How?
in the room. I don't know, the lock just wouldn't flick when I was trying to open the door. So I ended up knocking on it,
Yeah.
and to my surprise, first time meeting the managing partner, he opened the door for me. He's like, "Are you locked in there?"
Oh wow.
I was like, "I am.
Okay.
Thank you for opening it."
Okay.
Well, I mean, he didn't forget me after that.
That's not bad though. That's
I
not
know,
bad.
but
That's
it
not
was,
the weirdest. I'm sure there's all the weirder
There's
things.
probably worse than
There's probably worse.
I mean,
Go on. Open up.
worse or weird, I can't think of. I've been very professional in the workplace. I've not
Okay.
had
I
weird
mean, just to be,
experiences.
it shouldn't be from your side. We're talking about from other people.
I mean, I wouldn't talk about other people.
Okay,
like that.
well,
you know.
or just like the funniest thing in general that's happened when you've been at work.
Anything.
Funniest thing. Oh God, I actually can't think about something like this now.
That means you got a lot of funny things to say.
No, I mean, I just get work done. That's what that means. I can give you work examples. Challenging times. Like there's this one project we had 50 people. There were 2 people who were working on a core part of development. Their partner came, handed them 2 tickets, and said,
Okay.
"Can you get on the 6 p.m. train to Switzerland?"
Just like that.
Just like that. They
And what
literally
did-
they had the
and what did
laptops.
they say?
What could they say?
I
They were,
mean-
they were assigned it to a different part of a different
To
project.
go to Switzerland though, just like that,
Yes,
with no clothes.
just no. It was like, okay, just
How
you know.
long gone for?
I think it was 3 weeks they were gone for. This was and
They
this
didn't
was
like get a chance to pack any clothes.
no. It was just like, hey, here's just laptop. Can you go for 3 weeks and we'll figure the rest out, because they needed to report the next morning on the project. So it was a very niche sort of development that they could do. Literally, it was that. That's what I'm saying. This is what I say to you guys. When I've come from a cutthroat environment, like honestly, working for a global consultancy company, there's not a lot of room for error. And if there is error, you better have your backs covered. You know, literally, there better be a workaround if you've made an error. So that's the thinking that I have. If there's an error, T minus 1 second, I need to have a solution. And that's where, you know, Saffron, when she grabs me, like, you don't listen or think, I'm like 100 miles per hour. This is how I'm running, literally.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, mate. You answered the questions really well. Very nice.
Welcome to my tech talk.
Nice.
You're gonna do like a sign off thing or anything?
Sign off.
Yeah, like
So
thank you for listening.
Like and subscribe.
Hey guys.
Check out my Instagram link down below.
No, I don't want to.
TikTok.
What?
Check out my TikTok.
Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
What's your name on there?
Below, links below or something like that.
The same name. Yeah, Asad, how do you spell it?
Guys, if you ever want to connect, you need advice, you're a young entrepreneur or you're an budding entrepreneur or you're an established entrepreneur or any working professional and you want to get in touch, you can get in touch via my LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. No, not Facebook. Twitter. Not Twitter either. Wait, we'll cut that and we'll do that again. So if you want to get in touch, go on my LinkedIn, Instagram, or drop me an email. I look forward to hearing from you.
And he has many emails. Just specify which email.
Well, we can put it
Oh,
on the
all the
video.
links.
Ding.
It's
Like
gonna
a
be
ding.
on the bios.
Yeah.
Where is this being posted?
No,